Sup nerds, we already updated the weapon paints video not too long ago, but we do have to use the same weapon paints to update the Nuclear Winter video. But yeah, Nuclear Winter, for those who don't know, used to be a battle royale sort of game mode that we could play to get Overseer experience points to go up in Overseer ranks, and in doing so, getting exclusive rewards. Now, they did take away the mode, but have been slowly including part of those rewards back into the game for us to obtain in different ways, which is fantastic, but a little too slow. I don't understand why they can't just give us everything instead of sprinkling 2 to 4 plans every 6 months. It's I don't know, feels like they're keeping them for when they don't have any updates so that they can add it back in and say it's something new. But anyway, I will also be talking about the Vault 94 raid rewards here as well, because that's in a similar situation. It is something that had exclusive rewards that was taken out, and the rewards have been added back into the game later on. Anyway, let's go. Let's take a look at every Nuclear Winter reward and Vault 94 raid rewards that we can still get in Fallout 76 right now. Starting out with the Vault 51 jumpsuit, you could have gotten this by reaching rank 1 of the Overseer rank playing the Nuclear Winter mode. But today you can still have a chance to get this one by opening holiday gifts from the Holiday Scorch seasonal event. At rank 5 of the Overseer rank, you could get the small supply crate stash box, which today you can have a chance to get from the Mole Miner Pails during the Treasure Hunter seasonal event. At rank 11 of the Overseer ranks, you could get the blue Camo paint for the 44 pistol. It is also gotten from the holiday gifts during the Holiday Scorch seasonal event. Then, at rank 13 of the Overseer rank, you could get the Hot Rod Shark paint for the 10mm pistol, which of course we now get a chance to get at the encrypted public event. And every time I talk about this paint, I always mention how cool it looks. It's probably my favorite paint for the 10mm. Now, at rank 15, you could get the blue Camo Power Armor paint set, which is now also a part of the loot pool for the holiday gifts from the Holiday Scorch seasonal event. This is a paint set and it can be applied to several power armors, being the Excavator, the T-45, the T-51, the T-60, the Ultrasight, and the XO1. And right at the next rank, at 16, you could get the medium supply cash stash box, which is now being sold occasionally by Minerva for gold bullions. Then, at rank 21, you could get the blue Camo paint for the laser gun, which is now a part of the loot pool for the Mole Miner Pails during the Treasure Hunter seasonal event. At rank 25, you could get yet another paint for the laser gun, but this time is the Hot Rod Flames paint, but it can now be acquired with a chance of 9.1% at a Colossal Problem public event. Then, at rank 29, you could get the Slocum Joe's Power Armor paint set, which is now occasionally being sold by Minerva for gold bullions. This too can be applied to the Excavator, the T-45, the T-51, the T60, the Ultra Sight, and the XO1. And at rank 33, we could get the Brotherhood of Steel paint for the minigun. This too is sold at Minerva occasionally now. At rank 37, we could get one more minigun paint, the Hot Rod Paint Shark, which is now at the loot pool for the Project Paradise public event. Then, at rank 40, you could get the large supply cache stash box, which now drops from a Colossal Problem public event. At rank 41, we could get yet another minigun paint, and it was the Vault-Tec paint, which can now be acquired from the encrypted public event. At rank 44, you could get the Pink Sprinkles Power Armor paint set, which you can now get from the Mole Miner Pails, from the Treasure Hunter seasonal event. And this too can be applied to the Excavator, the T45, the T51, the T60, the Ultra Sight, and the XO1. At rank 46, you could get the Atom Cats paint for the missile launcher, which is now obtainable from the Mole Miner Pails from the Treasure Hunter seasonal event. At rank 50, you could get the Gladiator Mask, which now drops from Project Paradise public event. Just a reminder that every Nuclear Winter stuff from Project Paradise will only have a 10% chance to drop if and only if all 3 friendly monsters are alive by the end of the event. At rank 54, you could get the She paint for the missile launcher, and this too is now in Project Paradise loot pool. At rank 60, you could get the Outcast Power Armor paint set, which is now a rare reward for the Scorched Earth public event. Like the other Power Armor paints in this list, this can be applied to the Excavator, the T45, the T51, the T60, Ultra Sight, and the XO1. At rank 65, you could get the Inferno Mark 1 Power Armor paint, which is one of those Project Paradise rare rewards now. This one, however, can only be applied to the T45, T51, T60, and the XO1. The Mark 1 is the only one I'm missing from the Inferno paint sets, but it's tough to do because not many people are willing to do the Project Paradise event now. At rank 73, you can get the Centurion Helmet, which drops the Colossal Problem public event. This is the only one I'm missing from the Colossal Problem. At rank 81, we can get the Inferno Mark 2 Power Armor paint set, which can now be dropped from the encrypted public event. Just like the Mark 1, this can only be applied to the T45, T51, 260, and the XL1. Then, at rank 89, you can get the Makeshift Ronin Helmet, which also drops from the encrypted public event now. At rank 97, you could get arguably one of the coolest power armor paints in the game, the Inferno Mark III, which now drops from a Colossal Problem public event. And just like Mark 1 and Mark 2, it can be applied to the T45, T51, T60, and the XL1. This one has glowing tips, which I think is amazing. And finally, at rank 100, you can get the Hellfire prototype paint, which is occasionally sold by Minerva for gold bullion. This is a unique paint that can be applied to any power armor, but still will look the same. Now back in October 2019, for Halloween, if we got 250 Overseer experience points, we could unlock the Bat's Assault Rifle paint. And though that was just a limited time event, this has been added to the loot pool of the Spooky Scorch seasonal event. That said, this paint in particular feels a little uninspired to me. But also earning 750 Overseer experience points during the Halloween 2019 limited time event, we could get the 10mm Halloween paint. This too is now in the loot pool for the Spooky Scorch seasonal event, and I do think this paint is awesome because it has a lot of details in it with the boo at the front, the sick art on the sides, but also the skeleton in the back, even though the placement of those two glowing green dots make absolutely no sense. Then earning 1,500 Overseer experience points during the Halloween 2019 limited time event, we could get the BOS Minigun Paint. And this too is now in the loot pool of the Spooky Scorch seasonal event. And just like the Assault Rifle one, I'm not a huge fan of these bat ones. They just kinda look like someone got Halloween gift wraps and just put it on the guns. Now, getting 3,600 Overseer experience points during the Halloween 2019 limited time event, we could get the Jack-O-Lantern Combat Rifle Paint. This too is now in the loot pool of the Spooky Scorch seasonal event, and it has a Jack-O-Lantern on it. I'm not too sure what this purple thing is here, but I like to think it is magical, like a witch's potion for more damage. You just have to lick it every time before you shoot. And when you hold it, look at this, and that is super cool. Even though this too, now there's 4 green dots, kinda weird. But still, I do like how this looks. I think it looks fantastic. Also, since this is a paint for combat rifles, you can also put it in the fixer. Not only that, but earning 7,000 Overseer XP back in 2019, we could get the Jack-O-Lantern Combat Armor Paint. And of course, this has now been added to the loot pool of the Spooky Scorch seasonal event as well. And still from the Halloween 2019, getting a whopping 14,000 Overseer XP could get us the glowing skeleton costume and hood. And this too has now been added to the loot pool of the Spooky Scorch seasonal event, though dropped separately, so it might take you a while to get the matching set. The Holiday Wreath, I don't know how to say it, was a nuclear winter reward that you could get for earning 1 Overseer experience point during the Christmas 2019 event. The Rep Presence was a nuclear winter reward that you could get for earning 250 Overseer experience points during the Christmas 2019 event. The Holiday Tree was a nuclear winter reward that you could get for earning 750 Overseer experience point during the Christmas 2019 event. And this is such a dinky little tree, I love it. The Hunting Rifle Wrapping Paper Paint was a nuclear winter reward that you could get for earning 1,500 Overseer experience points during the Christmas 2019 event. And like I mentioned in the Weapon Paints video, this one is also a dinky little attempt at wrapping the rifle. But I guess that's part of the charm. The Metal Armor Snowflakes paint was a nuclear winter reward that you could get for earning 3,500 Overseer experience points during the Christmas 2019 event. And of course, this could be applied to the light, sturdy, and heavy variants of the metal armor. The Nuclear Winter Beanie was a nuclear winter reward that you could get for earning 7,000 Overseer experience points during the Christmas 2019 event. And this is just a beanie, but the fact that it used to be a nuclear winter reward that we can now get again makes it kinda cool, I guess. Moving on to Vault 94 raid rewards, there's a plan for the Vault 94 Jumpsuit which can be acquired from daily ops for players who are above level 50. And the rest? Well, they can all be purchased from Rags for gold bullions and sometimes from Minerva for cheaper than from Rags. And they are the Thorn or Solar Armor. They do look the same but have different passives, along with the Vault 94 Scout Armor Mask. There's also the Strangler Heart Power Armor. And that's it, nerds. Every Nuclear Winter reward and Vault 94 reward that we can still get in Fallout 76 right now. That said, we're still missing quite a few Nuclear Winter rewards that Bethesda hasn't added into the game yet. I don't expect the icons and the photo frames and trophies to be added back in, but we are still missing several apparels. I still want the ghillie, I still want the tracksuit, and the Letterman jacket. So, fingers crossed that we get those soon. So tell me, do you have all of these? Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider helping the channel out by clicking join down below to become a member. Subscribe to more videos like this. And of course, always nerd on.